Hello everyone, Derek Stam Toys, back with, well, it's gonna be an action figure review. I just kinda wanna show you that we've got a couple of packages that are definitely ready to be opened. Tore the label off of them, so that's not the real label there, but it did have somebody's info on it, so I was not willing to keep that on camera, but I do love on how it has a ginormous D on it anyway. So let's just take a couple of these packages out because we'll probably do that one first just because it's got the big D on it. Anyway, I'm not going to show off one of these other figures just yet, but I did kind of want to show this one off. No, it will not be reviewed today, but I've got the Chase variant Elite 92, Adam Cole, and his War Games camo gear. I'm pretty happy I got this, Ordered it off Amazon, so kind of another similar scenario with the Braun Breaker. Now maybe I'll buy another Adam Cole off of the same seller and see if I can get the normal green version. Anyway, with all that being said, before we open the package, I hope you guys enjoyed the last night of the holiday tour. Of course, it was a 3-night event. We got all those done. I hope you guys had a blast. It, in my opinion, was a very, very successful 3-night event. The first night alone had a bunch of views within 10 days. It was crazy number of views, crazy number of subscribers that came to the channel after that one was uploaded. Second night got some pretty good views too, and of course we're still kind of waiting to calculate how many views we get on the third episode within the next 10 days, because normally it takes a little bit for everybody to get caught up with the episode. I don't go out of my way to make it a live event scheduled thing on YouTube. I used to try to do videos that way, YouTube Premiere, and honestly it's kind of annoying. Sometimes they wouldn't work properly, so I just tend to upload them when I have them all finished, and you guys see it when it's all said and done. Sometimes, maybe a little errors, I'm not the most perfect human being, but I still try to put out good content for you guys, and I'm happy a lot of you do enjoy the content that I do produce for you. And with that being said, I am going to be taking a little small break from doing the pick fed. Nothing too major. I'm waiting for a couple of set pieces to come in. As you can see, we've got a nice little cardboard box set up. Very nice setup, 10 out of 10, recommend this setup, perfect, chef's kiss, moi, I do actually really love my setup though. That's just me being a pain in the ass, a little bit of an asshole, whatever you want to call it. But I do love how I did set it up for the holiday tour, at least the last night. I know I didn't set it up too fancy before then, but my dad also didn't break out any of his Christmas stuff before then. I kind of had to steal some of that from him. Anyway, but while I'm waiting for a couple of set pieces to come in, I'm just going to take a small little break. Hopefully that'll come around January. It was supposed to come around Christmas. My buddy knows the whole ordeal because he's the one who bought it for me. So if you're actually watching this and you're paying attention, shout out to you, buddy. You know who you are. But yeah, he got me a really nice Christmas gift this year. Sadly, can't come on time because of one of the back order items that he bought me that was on my list, I guess you could say, of the few things I was willing to ask for. Anyway, he bought them all for me, so again, thank you, buddy. Anyway, I think I've rambled on long enough. This review's probably going to be a standard, normal review, but I've just rambled for 5 minutes of it. So let's try to see if I can manage to get this figure open without having to stop recording. I don't think I'm going to be able to. They got this shiznit taped up pretty well. Yeah, I'm gonna pause it and we'll get this open. We'll get this jit open, alright? Well, I'll be completely honest, that really did not take me long at all. But of course, there's only one figure in here. Poor referee Jay Stifler takes a bump. I'm not standing him up. I don't know if you guys can tell who it is. I'm really excited to have this in my collection and for possible pick fed uses. We've got the Elite Series 4 Fit Finlay in hand, and man, this is actually really neat to have. No two left feet. If anything, just kind of looks like he's a little bow-legged. I don't know. Well, we'll have to figure that out here in a minute, because like something looks just a little odd about that one leg. So we'll have to come in touch with that here in a moment. We'll figure that out. I really don't know what could be the issue there either, because like the leg looks normal. Like it doesn't look to be maybe like the wrong side. I don't know. Maybe it could have gotten a little warped in shipping. Maybe I'll just have to heat treat this bad boy. I don't know. And of course, now that I bent the leg a little bit, he doesn't want to stand. Stand, Fit Finlay, stand. There we go. Anyways, so this is a really, really old figure. A very hard to come by figure too, especially in the condition that it's in. A lot of people, if you do find Fit Finlays, it will not come with the original jacket. Half the time, you guaranteed are not finding the shillelagh at all. Like, I could not find one with the shillelagh that was at a fairly reasonable price, and even if it did have the shillelagh, it just was very expensive. I found this one on Mary Cart though, for the seller I think was doing like $35 something, like $35.99, $36.99, one of the two for this. And I talked him down a little bit. At first, he wasn't really budging, but I waited a week. I came back. I hit him with another decent offer, maybe a little bit higher than what I did the first time. And well, bam, now I have Fit Finlay in the collection. And yes, I'm going to keep calling him Fit Finlay. I know that was mainly like a WCW thing, but to me, he is Fit Finlay, or just GM Finlay, I guess you could say as well, because I use Finlay as my GM for my pick fed. If you don't watch my pick fed, well, now you know I use Finlay in a suit for the pick fed. Kind of why I bought this, because if I ever want to tell a story where maybe Finlay gets fed up with being a GM, maybe he wants to get back in the ring, or maybe someone pushes his buttons a little too far, or maybe he gets attacked by a superstar in the back. I've got a lot of different scenarios for GM storylines that I could integrate, and now I have the figure to do so. It's not like I have to write Finlay off and say like The Rock comes in, and now The Rock's the GM for a little bit, and he don't take no shit from anybody type of deal. No, I can do that with Finlay now. Maybe I could have Finlay battle someone for the right to be general manager at some point, Now, that option is available. Getting into the figure itself, though, if you've never owned this figure, I want to say this is the original head sculpt. Of course, it's got a little bit of scuffing on it, but personally, to me, not the biggest ordeal, considering how old this figure really is. Like, honestly, the condition it's in, especially the white marks and stuff like that, like, the white knee pads and the white trimming and stuff like that, It's actually in really good condition. Of course, the figure itself could probably use a little bit of a cleaning. But other than that, dude, like, this figure is actually in really decent condition. Of course, the articulation being a little bit different. He don't get the double jointed arms. Maybe one of these days I'll transform it into a double jointed arms Finlay, or maybe WWE's, WWE and Mattel can work together and give us a re-release of this figure, but with the double jointed arms. Maybe give us an updated, better looking jacket, wink wink. No more rubber accessories, please. At least rubber accessories with sleeves. Anyway, and with that being said, what would I give this figure a ranking of? Because we're just going to kind of skip over the articulation. I think I've talked enough about this figure and stuff, But what would I rank it? Honestly, I think I'll give it a good solid 6 out of 10. I didn't notice the leg looked a little wonky in the picture, if that is the case, and that's just how this figure was being shipped. And if so, I'm happy I talked the guy down a little bit, because that leg, it is bothering me the more and more I look at it. Like, I'm hoping I don't have to, take a leg and fucking replace this one. If anything, I'm hoping maybe what it is maybe that peg right there is a little too inward, and it's not where it's supposed to sit, because it doesn't really look to be, but it could be. Anywho, but with that kind of being my only complaint, maybe now that I'm looking at it, maybe it's meant to be on the other leg. I don't know. Maybe this Finlay was just born with two left shin bones? I don't know, but in my opinion, that kind of does deduct points off of it. So we said, a good solid 6, a good solid 5. I think we'll stick with a good solid 5. And on that note, we'll say he's a good solid 2 out of 5 stars. Either way, this figure is good. Just gonna have to make some minor improvements, but that's the game when you buy loose figures, everyone. So, be careful at that. If you're not buying from a trusted seller or a seller that you regularly buy from, that kind of stuff can tend to happen. I learned my lesson with the Pac, and now I'll continue to learn my lesson with the Fit Finlay, but hopefully, all in all, the Finlay will be put to good use one of these days, and if not, the Finlay will definitely be a great display piece to have in the collection. As, man, who can say they own an Elite Series 4 Fit Finlay? Let me know in the comment section below. Have you ever owned a Fit Finlay? Have you, at least owned it? Maybe it got chewed up by the dog. Maybe something happened to it. I don't know. But, all in all, did you ever own this figure? Because I've never owned this figure until now. So, this is, a revelation in my pick fed. Or, yeah, in my pick fed. In my collection. But all in all, with that being said, I think I'm done rambling. If you liked the video, like the video. If you didn't like the video and I talked a little too much, I'm sorry. Hopefully it won't normally be like that from here on out. I've just been really excited to open these packages, and I'm a little late on posting the reviews. I was supposed to have a couple of these done for either this morning or yesterday, but when I got home from work, I was tired. I went to bed. I can't help that. And I'm just happy I had the day off, so now I can sit here, grind these reviews out, get them out to you guys. I might save one of them, but with that being said, yeah, might be for rambling a little much. But anyways, if you did like the video and you want to see more action figure reviews and or pick fed content, I do have playlists for both of them on the channel, so feel free to go to those playlists and watch every single episode of reviews or every episode of the pick fed. I think I even have one for unboxings, but don't quote me there. I can't exactly remember off the top of my head. And I also can say this, I do have to update the reviews one. I think I have to get a couple of videos into the playlist itself. But yeah, on that note, I don't think I really have much more to say other than if you would like to, feel free to follow me on Instagram. I want to say I noticed somebody from my Instagram has also commented and stuff like that on the pick fed the other night. So if that was actually you, buddy, feel free to claim this as like a little shout out to you. I acknowledged you. You know, I actually like remembered and noticed it. So if I did actually notice that correctly, yeah, little shout out to you, my dude. I acknowledge that. That's really sick. And I'm happy I can claim at least maybe one person follows me on both Instagram and watches the videos as well. Anyways, on that note, I think we're out of here. I hope you guys had a really good holiday, and I hope you guys have a really good New Year's. We are out of here. Peace out, yo.